What up, peeps, on this beautiful Sunday? So we've got a conversation here today that's, I don't know, it's going to be fun or not. Marley,
What?
can you do me a favor?
Can I go jump? Yeah.
In just a second, but I need some help here.
What?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Rip it off. Rip it off, man. Rip it off. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Okay, now that we got that Band-Aid off, let's get the big Band-Aid ripped off. Before Christmas, I started a comment war on my Nextdoor app. Yeah, y'all, you disappointed me, Amarillo. You really did. I figured y'all were a little more open-minded and a little more adult than
Okay.
some of y'all were. But I was raised in a small town. Well, not medium-sized town that thought they were a small town that at the same time wanted to be a medium-sized city that trusted to close down everything and shut down everything for a few bad apples and throw us all into the same Sunday service and the same youth group and the same everything. And this guy was who we trusted in this town to watch all the kids. This guy that ended up disappearing because his sexual infidelity and his fraud and his embezzlement and his everything finally came out. And let me tell you something else about this guy. My 82 Chevrolet that was beat to crap, didn't have a straight body panel, didn't have good paint, didn't have all that, was made fun of profusely by these church members every time I pulled up into that parking lot. My skateboarding friends and my lower class friends and my friends that lived on the other side of the track, they didn't want us there. They didn't like us there. Looking back on it, they wanted the kids on the good side of town, and they wanted to show off that. That's what they wanted to show off as their church. All right, fellas, so I have a disclaimer here. Going off about this church in my hometown, in my small town, I am not saying that every church is bad. I am not saying that every Christian is bad. I'm not saying that real Christians are bad at all. That is not what I'm saying. That is not what I am getting at. We are devout members of Tradewind Community Church here. We love our church, we love our people, and we love the people that are there. We love the people that help us, and we love the people that let us help them. I was raised at Trinity Methodist Church in Clovis, New Mexico, and for the most part, there was some good people there. Lifelong friends, lifelong people I still see in town that I talk to every day that are good, great, excellent people. The vast majorities of churches are made up of good, great, excellent people. So don't get off that I'm going off on a Christian rant. Don't get off that I'm going off on a let's not go to church and let's just diss God rant, anything like that, because I'm getting off on just the opposite. There's good churches out there. There's good ways to raise your kids in a Christian home, and you should be raising your kids in a Christian home, in my humble opinion. It's your humble opinion to raise them different. That's fine. That's up to you. But in my humble opinion, we raise our kids in a Christian home. I was raised in a Christian home. My wife was raised in a Christian home. Don't take this as I'm going against churches. I'm going against the wolves in sheep's clothing. So, even back then, they weren't living the way they were supposed to be living. But let's get to the point of this video. The point of this video is John Stiff Skatepark. Now, John Stiff Skatepark has come under some scrutiny, and there's people that want it shut down. There's people that want cameras put up there. There's people that want this up there, that up there, everything. This little girl behind me absolutely loves John Stiff Skatepark. She was raised in medium-sized cities here in Texas and was not raised in a thinks they're better than you, thinks they know more than you, thinks they're a lot classier than they are town like I was raised in. Now, my message to my medium-sized city in Texas, Don't be that medium-sized town that I was raised in. Don't think that you're better in everything than everybody. Don't think that you're better because you live a different life than somebody else. Get out of your life. Get out of your cycle. Get out of your head. Get out of your front door and think about when you were a kid. Think about when stuff got ripped away from you. Think about all this. A lot of these kids ain't being raised like my girls are. A lot of these kids ain't being raised with attention and everything else and being able to be photobombing in the background and stuff like that. It's just not what's happening to them. So, John Stiff Skate Park. Everybody's going off about the people cutting Brodies and the damage to the bathrooms that they tore down and the damage to the dumpsters and the damage to this and the damage to this and the damage to this. And it's all linked to the spray painting, all linked to the graffiti at the skate park. It's all the hood rat kids that are doing it. It's all the hood rat kids that are causing the problem. It's all the hood rat kids that are on the southwest side of town in the good neighborhood. Well, let me tell you something about the hood rat kids. Martin Road Skate Park, it's very well taken care of. There's hardly any spray paint anywhere. You know why? Because those kids take care of what they have. Those kids don't have nothing. Those kids are blamed for everything. Those kids are stereotyped, and they take care of the stuff that they have. We have a pro skate team in town. You know where they practice and play at? They play at Martin Road. They don't play at John Stiff. You know why they play at Martin Road and don't play at John Stiff? Because some of them leave their gear, their shoes, their boards, their whatever for the kids to have. We build bicycles. We take bicycles to people. We don't show it off on here because it's not what God wants us to do. But we take it here, there, and yonder. But what I'm getting at, guys, is not every kid was raised like you. Not every kid was raised in a house like you. It is not a child's fault for the way that they were raised. It is not a child's fault for what they were taught. It takes a village to raise a family. And when you see a child going down the wrong path, you need to be the inspiration to that child and the good word to that child and everything. But getting back into it, this graffiti, this spray paint, this everything that you're wanting to shut the skate park down that you're blaming on the hood rat kids. Martin Road is 8.5 miles from John Stiff Skate Park. You're telling me that a skate park that is 8.5 miles from the hood, these kids are jumping on their bikes and their scooters and their boards and their skates and whatever, and they're going up and they're tearing up your side of town. No, these kids don't have nothing in that side of town, guys. These kids are latchkey kids. They got both parents work. They've got one vehicle. Daddy drops mama off. Daddy picks mama up. The kids ride the bus or walk home from school, walk to school, and they take care of themselves and the stuff after, and they're raised in loving, caring homes. Not all of them are that way, but a vast majority of kids over there are that way. Y'all are claiming that this is graffiti spray paint, that this is this, that, and the other, that this is gangster, that this is just bad things. These kids are doing Brodies in the parking lots. These kids can't afford cars that'll do Brodies in the parking lot yet, let alone replace the tires on the dang cars. So maybe you want to go out and check your college fund Lexus driving kids' tires and see how often they're replacing them. And at the same time, while you're doing that, go get your kiddo a Big Chief tablet, go get him some colors, and let him express himself in there. Because look, the teenagers that are acting like 5-year-olds, I can do the same thing in a Big Chief tablet at home.
La da 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 da.
Now, on the other end of this spectrum, kids, listen to me. Young adults, listen to me. People that are going to fight for this with me, listen to me. You got to be more mature than the people are being that are telling us that we're got to shut this down. You can't act like them. You can't be narrow-minded like them. You got to show improvement not only towards you, but towards your town. So we got to come up with a good way to do this. And I'm not giving up on this. I'm not letting my kids lose stuff like we lost stuff. I'm not letting my kids get raised by the pervert that everybody thought was a good guy. I am raising my kids. My wife is raising my kids. We are teaching our kids the way it goes. I'm a dad bod veteran, put it the best way. Zennial. I am between Gen X and Millennial. I am a 1983 model. I am that certain sect where we went to school in kindergarten with a Big Chief tablet, and we graduated with a different color Mac in every classroom and computer labs that we would get together and figure out the websites that they didn't have blocked yet. Yeah, that was us. That was how we were raised. That's how a lot of y'all that are going against this was raised. Now, y'all were raised in those times. Y'all were raised in the times where brands meant everything. All this, that, and the other meant everything. I was made fun of for my roached out pickup while mommy and daddy was buying brand new vehicles for kids or rebuilding pickups like mine to where they look brand new, spending thousands and thousands of dollars so they can run them into a telephone pole. Guys, we all come up different. We all come up in different households. Not every door is the same. Behind every door is a different situation. You got to remember that. And you got to think. Instead of shutting down and taking stuff away for a few bad apples, come up with a good idea. Now, myself, I'm a sober dad. I don't drink anymore. But anybody that's interested in coming up with this civilly and taking my Big Chief tablet here and coming up with ideas that work for us, that work for the city of Amarillo, and saving the skate park for these two and more like them and myself and more like us, I'd like to get together sometime. I'd like to drink a cup of coffee. Another reason we're not going to a bar is alcohol creates bad decisions, and we need good ones here. So I'd like to get together sometime. I'd like to drink a cup of coffee, and I'd like to discuss this, Amarillo. Let's fight for this skate park. Let's keep it open for the good kids. And let's start taking the bad kids under our wing and teach them how to be good kids, because at the same time, they don't know no better. This is the way they were raised. This is the way they were taught. Get out of your head. Get out of your front door. Get out of your, this is what life is now. And I can't remember what it was like when I was their age. Because you're young enough, guys, you can. You can remember what it was like when you had stuff taken away from you. You can remember what it was like when you didn't have the stuff that other people had. You can remember what it was like back then. And let's make now back then. Let's make now different than back then, honestly. Let's make now to where we're not shutting down stuff because of a few bad apples. Let's take the few bad apples and let's polish them up and make them good apples. Love you guys. Peace.
Bye.
So, kids, parents, people over 18, tax-paying, hard-working citizens of Amarillo that are on board with me on this, that can open your mind and get outside your own head in your own house. Message me, get a hold of me. I want to get some ideas together, guys. I want to get some things going and collectively come up with something that's good for us, that's good for the city. We can have cleanup days, guys. We can have vendors out there, you know, passing out information on places that kids can get help and stuff like that. We can come up with stuff to make this thing fly. And besides just giving them a petition with nothing, let's give them a petition and let's show some support for this, and let's give them an idea. Let's give them a way to make this work. And if you're on board with me on this, please get a hold of me, because I want to get something going on this very soon, and I want to have a meeting, and let's save this for our kids, guys. Thanks, everybody.